What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So we actually have some big news today. We got 48 hours, okay? 48 hours to get a deal done. We're not gonna wait till the end of this week. According to reports, the House of Representatives wants to vote on the bipartisan infrastructure bill. That is that $1.2 trillion bipartisan bill by Wednesday. That's in less than 48 hours. So, according to reports, we have 48 hours for these negotiators to get this deal done, get the framework finished, finalized, and have everybody happy with what's on the table. Here's what we know. Senator Joe Manchin says that the Democrats could reach a deal on the spending bill this week. All right, great news. Senator Bernie Sanders, he says he's still waiting to see how much Medicare will be expanded before he actually agrees on this deal. So we are hearing that Bernie Sanders, one of the ones that put the deal together, put the bill in place, in motion, he is still not even sure if he's going to vote on this bill. Yeah, that's where things are going at this time. We know President Biden, he's eager to get this deal done, and he wants it done before next Monday. Unvaccinated Americans are going to have a tougher time coming into the U.S. with the new U.S. travel system that's coming up on November 8th. We're going to address that in today's video. We know many colleges say that they can't wait for President Biden to forgive student loans, so they're actually going to do it themselves. I'll address that in a minute. Lawmakers are still looking at this new billionaire tax and saying that money is too easy to come by for many billionaires, so that's why they need to pay their fair share. We also have Elon Musk actually gained about $36 billion today in his net worth, and I'll address that at the end of this video. We also know police officers who have refused the COVID vaccine are now being offered a $5,000 bonus in order to go work in Florida. So I'll address that at the end of this video as well. But let's get into the update, because there's a lot of stuff we need to go over. First, Senator Joe Manchin says that a deal could be reached by the end of this week. However, reports indicate if we have a deal, we will know over the next 48 hours. He says that today, he still has a real concern with expanding Medicare, but some people do not see this. Senator Joe Manchin says that Medicare's insolvency could come as soon as 2026. And the problem is, he says he believes we need to first stabilize Medicare before we look at expanding the program. But let me ask you this. Does it make more sense to stabilize Medicare first and then we look to expand it in the next couple of years? Or does it make more sense to expand it now and hope we can stabilize Medicare in the future? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Now, reports this morning were indicating, and there were multiple reports indicating that multiple lawmakers who didn't want to be named said that Senator Joe Manchin told them in private that he would be willing to go up as high as $1.75 trillion. However, when he was asked today if he is accepting the fact that it's going to be over $1.75 trillion, he said, no, I'm still at $1.5 trillion. So, experts are anticipating that this is probably just one of his negotiation tactics at this time. He doesn't want to come out and just agree to 1.75 because that's not going to be the end. If he agrees to 1.75, Democrats are probably going to be like, and progressives are going to be like, you know what? We're so close to 2, you should just bump it up to 2. Just bump it up a little bit more. But according to reports, that's not something he's willing to do. He will go as high as 1.75, nothing more. So we'll see what happens there. Now, even though we are gonna potentially see a vote in the House of Representatives on that $1.2 trillion bipartisan bill on Wednesday, there's still a very good chance it doesn't happen. Because in order for the vote to happen, we have to have a finalized agreement from all senators on this human infrastructure bill. We also need to know the price. Is it gonna be 1.5, 1.75, $2 trillion? At this time, we don't know. But if we cannot get a deal done within the next 48 hours, then this human infrastructure bill, okay, first, isn't gonna pass yet. We know the bipartisan bill isn't gonna see a vote on Wednesday. But again, that's what they're waiting on, is Let's get the deal struck. Let's finalize the agreement, the framework. Then we can go and vote on the bipartisan bill. But again, there's still a chance. At this time, progressives say no. We want to make sure that we vote on this bill first, and then we will pass the bipartisan bill at the exact same time. But again, until this happens, we don't know. There's a lot of question marks right now. Honestly, I think we are getting closer, but at the same time, as we get very close to the end, we could see this entire deal just completely fall apart. So again, I don't want to worry you, but at the same time, just understand, nothing is actually agreed upon yet. We are still trying to get the final agreement, and then we could potentially pass the bill. Again, it still has to be written. There's still parts of this that have to be written. So we're not there like tomorrow. We got a little bit to go. Now, let's get into the news today about how Americans may find it even more difficult to come back into the United States from traveling. What we're hearing is that for vaccinated Americans coming back into the US, as of November 8th, you will have to provide a negative COVID test up to 3 days prior to your departure. Now, that's nothing new. That has been going on for a while. Here's the difference. For unvaccinated Americans, you used to have 3 days. You had the exact same stipulation. Here's the new requirement. You need to now provide a COVID test, a negative COVID test, within 24 hours of your departure. 24 hours, that's 1 day. But here's where things get very tricky. If your flight is to get pushed back, if it gets canceled, if it gets delayed, and let's say you went exactly 23.5 hours before to go and get your test, and then it gets delayed 3 hours, guess what? You have to go and get a new COVID test. So yes, right now they are trying to make it a little bit more difficult, but they say they're following the science. According to one senior administration official today, they said, these are strict safety protocols that follow the science of public health to enhance the safety of Americans here at home and the safety of international air travel. That was their exact statement. But let me know down in the comment section below, what do you think of this? Do you think this is good? Do you think this is bad? First off, I can tell you airlines are not too excited about this because this is going to make more people question whether they should be flying at this time or not. They're not going to question whether they should get the vaccine. They're questioning, should we fly or not? So again, that could potentially hurt the airlines, but we'll see what happens. Now let's dive into colleges. According to reports today, many colleges are actually very worried that students will just stop going to college because of the growing financial crisis that they may face. Here's what we know. A growing number of colleges are now removing student loans from their financial aid packages and offering grants instead. This is something that I've been saying for a while, is that you don't have to go and get a loan. You don't even have to go and get a loan for college. You don't have to go and get a loan to buy a car, to buy a house, to go and, let's say you want to start a business. There are grants. There's free money out there to buy a car, start a business, remodel your home, take a vacation. There is free money out there that the government has been giving away for years, for decades, been giving away money. Okay, so you can go and get this. Again, it's a grant. Now, some of these grants are for students with families that have incomes less than $150,000. There's others that they require you to make less than $80,000 for the household, but you need to live in a poor location here in the country. One expert says that by eliminating student loans for students, this will allow them to spend more time focusing on their studies and schooling as opposed to being so worried about either holding down one or possibly two jobs in order to pay for that loan. One college said, they can't wait for the government to make up their minds as to whether or not they cancel student debt. So some of them are just taking it upon themselves to cancel debt on their own. This is interesting. But again, this is just putting more pressure on President Biden to make a decision. Does he have the power? We addressed this morning, but really nobody knows whether President Biden can or cannot forgive up to $50,000 in student loans. So we'll see what happens there. Now, for this new Billionaire Wealth Tax, I want to address this because lawmakers say that money is coming way too easy for many billionaires, especially in a time when millions of Americans are still unemployed and racking up so much debt. And let me ask you this. Have you racked up more debt over the past, 18 months than in previous years? Let me know down in the comment section below. Is it because of this pandemic? Is it because employment is not so consistent? Let me know what kind of you are experiencing at this time. Now, today, Tesla's price soared. It was up like $115 during the day. But by Tesla's price soaring up over $1,000, it actually increased Elon Musk's net worth by $36 billion in a single day. Elon Musk is now worth an estimated $289 billion, which is actually more than $100 billion more than the number 2 richest person in the world, Jeff Bezos, who only has $192.6 billion. That was as of earlier today. So it's very interesting what's happening there, but we will see lawmakers push to see a billionaire tax, especially with this new wealth that many of them are getting just by simply owning great companies. I love Tesla. I love Amazon, great companies. I really like Microsoft, right? But, again, these are just things that we have to go through. And again, they're going to try to take this money from billionaires. But let me know, do you think that's a good move or not? Now, here's something that I wasn't going to add to this video, but I thought this was extremely interesting. When I was doing my research today, I found that Governor Ron DeSantis from Florida, he says he wants to provide police officers with a $5,000 bonus in order for them to come to Florida, to relocate to Florida for work. He says, and I quote, "We do have needs in our police and our sheriff's department. So in the next legislative session, I'm going to hopefully sign a legislation that gives a $5,000 bonus to any out-of-state law enforcement that relocates to Florida. NYPD, Minneapolis, Seattle, if you're not being treated well, we will treat you better here. You can fill important needs for us, and we will compensate you as a result." I thought that was very interesting. This is a little bit of a different approach. I think it's a very smart move by the governor to provide a $5,000 relocation bonus. Okay, that's pretty big. The other thing that's very big, in Florida, you have no state tax. Okay, in Florida, there's stuff that you can get away with in Florida, right? Real estate's still good. Jobs are still going great. COVID cases, at one point they were very high in Florida. Now, right, things are looking a little bit better. So right now, some are saying that this could be a very smart move. But again, as we get more information there, I promise I'll fill you in on that update. But as of right now, that's all we have. So again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday. Consider subscribing if you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.